The last section that we're going to look at in the process of event management is the evaluation and feedback phase. Often, in fact, most people don't do this, and it's a big mistake because we actually learn so much from the project we've just done. We've learned what works, what doesn't. We've seen which goals and objectives have been met. We've just had this beautiful experience. So if we take it and we convert it into an evaluation and a feedback, next time we can cut out all the little things that made it difficult or that were not so easy to solve. And we can also prepare the client for the next event. So we've got a base. It's always step one of the next event. Because we take this sheet and we say, so many people attended the carnival. It didn't work that time of the year, so we just got to move it. This worked really well. The food worked really well. Now the planning for the next year's carnival is almost done. We know at least 3 of the suppliers we will use again because they're great. We know which ones we have to change. So it's a very important step in the process for us as event coordinators to make our jobs easier in the future and to fix things. It's also a very important step for the client because he goes now and looks at what was promised, what his most wanted response was, and whether or not this worked for him. Remember when we're dealing with corporates, and you guys will see in your subject modules, you're doing PR, you're doing touching on marketing, because everything ties in. So now the client will say, I've allocated this much money to making this happen. Did it happen? If it happened, great, he'll do it again. If it didn't happen, he can't keep allocating budgets and money to things that don't work. So he has to change that. So this is very important for him too. He needs to understand what worked and what didn't from a corporate side. If your wedding doesn't work out and you have to get divorced, unfortunately, like that's not, you can't fix the next, or maybe you can fix the next. Maybe it wasn't the event, maybe it was the husband. Okay, but you do that, you measure how far you've come, you measure what's happening, how can we fix things, how can we do this better next time. So in this phase, we first and foremost look at, did we meet the event objectives? Remember, we did them in the research phase, in the design phase. We always have planning, all the time, implementation. Every time we're keeping our goals and our objectives in mind. Have we met them? Yes or no? Which ones worked, which ones didn't? Is it something that was major, is it something that was small? What worked, what didn't? Feedback reports, those get sent to the clients. Sometimes you've used a security company or another company, and let's say 3 of the security guys were drunk and they were lying down sleeping behind the barn. So you would give a feedback report. You'd say, dear company, we will not be using your services in the future because 3 of your staff members were doing this. You give feedback to people so that they know how to fix their things as well. Event evaluation should be done during and after the event. Make notes, because as you're walking, implementing, and people are telling you things, you're writing things down, you're experiencing things, and it's so busy that sometimes you forget. So make notes. You're always going to have your little file with you with your checklist. So you'll say like, 3 security guards drank the security dance. Remember we did that in class? Okay, so you'll make a note, like this was a problem. Or that person, that representative was really rude to my client. We did a exhibition, what was it called? The one at Kailami, I think it's the outdoor show or whatever. And we were delivering things and my client was with me because we were late, and she was carrying a box and I was carrying a box, and we were trying to get to the stand. And the security guard said, you can't come in here. And you could see our stand, and we said, we girls, we like struggling, these boxes are heavy, can't we just put it right over there? And he actually pushed my client. He physically pushed her. So as you can imagine, we do not support the exhibition anymore. We did bring it to their attention, but that is terrible. Imagine pushing someone. That's the same person that's paid for the raw floor spacing, that's paid to have an event to support your show. So that security member had such a big impact on the whole show because it was for a very big client. So you need to manage your staff and you need to know what's going on, because somebody doing something could affect the future you have with your clients, or the future the product has with society. So you need to manage that. You need to know what's going on. So during the event, we're managing things. If that was my event, I would have said, I do apologize. You, sir, off the premises, you're no longer working out, sort out your salary and whatever later. I would have removed that person. But those are the kind of things we need to manage as we go along. So we're doing the feedback all the time. We're making sure that we can, when the event is over, we have the knowledge and the things written down that worked and that didn't work. So in summary, we were looking today at the 5 processes that happen in event management. There's a lot of detail, there's insights. This is a structure. But it gives you an idea of how complicated it can actually be. Sometimes when you tell people, I'm an events coordinator, they go, oh, you wear high heels and you like do nothing the whole time and you just have lunch with your clients. It couldn't be further from the truth. I've washed floors, I've scrubbed toilets, we've done everything. You do everything. You wear flat shoes, you wear high heels when you meet with a client, and you wear high heels when you give him feedback. The rest of the time, you wear comfortable shoes because you're running. You work really hard, and you have to have a project management brain to put all this together. It's not this glamorous, easy, stupid job that people say it is. It's actually really hard, and it takes a certain person, a certain discipline to actually pull it off. So the 5 phases. We have to do research, we have to design, planning, implementing and coordination, evaluation and feedback. Thank you.